Patriarchy's hidden cost: how societal structures warp our true selves. Patriarchy. It's a word that often sparks heated debates, but how many of us truly understand the hidden cost it has on our lives? It's easy to think of patriarchy as just a system of male dominance. But what if I told you that patriarchy doesn't just hurt women, it warps all of us, men and women alike? The truth is, patriarchy's cost isn't just measured in inequality or oppression. It's measured in the way it forces us to lose touch with our authentic selves. How does it distort our identities, our relationships, and even our psychological well-being? Let's explore the hidden costs of patriarchy and uncover how it shapes us in ways we may not even realize. Patriarchy is often seen as a system that privileges men over women, but its true impact runs deeper than just gendered power dynamics. It is a set of societal structures that dictate how we should behave, who we should become, and what we should value based on our gender. These structures have been ingrained in our culture for centuries, shaping everything from family dynamics to workplace hierarchies, and even personal identity. From early age, we're conditioned to fit into specific roles: women as caregivers, men as providers, women as emotional nurturers, and men as stoic problem solvers. But what happens when we step outside of these roles? What happens when our authentic selves don't match up to the script the society has handed us? One of the most insidious ways patriarchy warps our true selves is by suppressing our emotions. For men, the patriarchal ideal of manliness demands that they avoid vulnerability, push down sadness, and mask fear with stoicism. Men are taught to believe that expressing feelings like vulnerability, anxiety, or even compassion is a sign of weakness. Psychologically, this creates a profound disconnect, a disconnection from self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Research shows that men who suppress their emotions are at greater risk for depression, anxiety, and emotional dysfunction. And over time, this emotional repression can lead to strained relationships, both with themselves and with others. But patriarchy doesn't just harm men. Women, on the other hand, are often dismissed or overlooked when they show emotion, especially in professional settings. They are called hysterical or too emotional, when they even express vulnerability. Society pushes women to internalize these stereotypes, leading to self-doubt and insecurity. Patriarchy also dictates our gendered identities, the roles that we are expected to perform based on whether we're born male or female. For women, this often means being confined to domestic roles, restricted by the idea that their worth is tied to their physical appearance, nurturing abilities, or their ability to please others. For men, it means the constant pressure to be tough, dominant, and successful, to never show weakness and always be in control. This is where the psychological toll of patriarchy becomes evident. We're forced to build identities that are unnatural, identities shaped by societal expectations rather than our true nature. Men and women are forced to choose between what society deems acceptable and their authentic desires and values. For women, the psychological impact of patriarchy is especially severe. Patriarchal norms place value on women's appearance rather than their skills, their intellect, or their personal accomplishments. Women are taught to find validation in their relationships as daughters, wives, or mothers, rather than their individual potential. This societal structure often leads to a fragile sense of self, constantly seeking external validation to affirm self-worth. Women are told that beauty is their currency and that success is often defined by their ability to meet societal standards of femininity. As a result, many women experience body dysmorphia, self-objectification, and anxiety about their place in the world. But patriarchy also exacts a heavy cost on men, even though they are often the ones benefiting from this system. The pressure to conform to ideals of masculinity, to be strong, successful, and emotionally invulnerable, creates a deep sense of isolation. Men are expected to be breadwinners, leaders, protectors, but these roles often conflict with their inner desires and emotional needs. Psychologically, this can lead to toxic masculinity, which often manifests in aggression, substance abuse, and emotional burnout. Men are taught to value competition over cooperation and dominance over connection. But these ideals are ultimately unnatural, pushing men further away from their authentic selves and leading to a life of alienation and dissatisfaction. So, what can we do about this? How can we break free from the shackles of patriarchy and reclaim our authentic selves? The first step is to recognize that patriarchy isn't just about women's rights, it's about human rights. It's about freeing everyone, men, women, and non-binary individuals, from the rigid roles and expectations that limit our potential. We need to redefine masculinity and femininity. We need to give ourselves and each other the freedom to express the full spectrum of human emotion and identity without fear of judgment. Men should feel free to express vulnerability, and women should feel free and empowered to embrace their power, independence, and individuality. Authenticity isn't something we find within the confines of societal expectations. It's about freedom to be who we truly are, not who the world tells us to be. And by breaking down the patriarchal structures that limit us, we can all begin the journey back to our true selves. So I ask you, how has patriarchy shaped your life? Have you ever felt pressure to conform to expectations that didn't feel right? Let's start the conversation. Share your thoughts below. And if you found this video thought-provoking, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more content on how society shapes our identities and how we can break free from the structures that hold us back.